Hello everyone guys, my name is Tanya and you're on the TGym channel, and today I'll be your personal trainer. Many of you have seen my past videos on how to make a workout plan in the gym for girls actually, and today I will show you a clear example of a circular workout for the entry level. If you have never been to the gym and your foot has not stepped on the treadmill, if you don't know which side to approach the machine from and what they are called, if the idea of going to the gym scares you and the fact that you'll perform exercises incorrectly, then this video is just for you. As I have mentioned to you earlier, the ideal type of training for beginners and in general for the female body is circular ones, when you work out all the muscles in one session. Our main goal, beginners, is first of all to actually learn the correct technique of performing exercises, strengthen your muscular frame, and of course develop endurance. Then we'll take an average of 1 to 2 months, of course taking into account regular training. It often happens that beginners, having overestimated their strength, begin to train 4 or 5 times a week or even every day. It is much more effective and safer to train only 3 times a week with mandatory rest days between workouts. Then your muscles will have time to recover, you will not get injured, and the effect will be much better. So, my training plan for the beginner level of difficulty is designed for 3 workouts per week. Let's look at what our first workout will look like. Each workout must necessarily begin with a joint warm-up for 5 minutes. Your goal is to prepare your muscles, joints, and cardiovascular system for work. I have a lot of warm-up examples on my channel. You can add all these videos to your favorites and perform them before training. Since the muscle core set is weak for beginners, it is especially important for you to warm up and prepare your back. Therefore, first exercise should always be hyperextension. Such equipment can be found in any gym. You need to perform 4 sets of 25 to 20 reps. Be sure to check your position and exposition technique. The edge of the roller should be on the pelvic bones. We lower the body as low as possible on 5 and raise ourselves up by 2 due to the work of the lower back and buttocks. At the top point, do not overextend and exhale. The best way to learn how to do exercises correctly and let your muscles and body get used to the correct position is to work with equipment. Therefore, if you have never squatted with a barbell, you don't need to. Start by pressing the platform with your feet 4 sets of 20 to 15 reps. The setting of the legs on the platform is average. Socks aside, bending the knees in the direction with the socks. The lower back is tightly pressed, removing the handrails, squeeze out the platform with an exhalation and lower down on the inhale. Remember, we squeeze faster and lower it slower to feel the tension. After the platform press, we move on to the next basic exercise, the classic lunges. We work with free weights, dumbbells. You also need to do 4 sets of 25 to 20 reps. We look in front of us and take a step forward. The angle in front of the standing leg should be 90 degrees, and the knee behind the standing leg does not touch the floor. It is also important to watch your back. It must be smooth and the shoulder blades are brought together. With an exhalation pushing off with the heel, we get to the starting position and we lunge to the other foot. And in the following approaches, we already use dumbbells. We move on to the upper body, a large muscle group, the back. We begin work with the exercise traction of the upper block sitting. The most important thing in this exercise is to pull weight and not help with the hands, but using the widest muscles of the back. Try to concentrate. With each approach, we increase the weight of the block simulator. The setting of the hands is wide. With an exhalation, we pull the handle to the top of the chest. We maintain a natural deflection in the lower back. Don't forget to check the description under the video. I will attach links to the videos with more detailed techniques for performing exercises. It remains to work out the chest and triceps. Push-ups will help you with this, but if you're in elementary level, I advise you to start doing exercise from the bench. The higher the emphasis, the easier it will be to perform the exercise. Start with 10 reps. The body should be smooth without deflections in the lower back. Going down and inhaling, spread your elbows away from the body. When doing push-ups, please feel the work muscles, chest and triceps. The rest between sets and the exercise should not be too long. 1 or 2 minutes will be enough. Do not sit on the equipment. Walk around the hall, relax, take deep breaths, and get ready for the next approach. Be sure to drink water every 10 to 15 minutes during your workout. Well, the rest between the transition from exercise to exercise can be 2 to 3 minutes. At the end of the workout, we will work out the press. 20 repeats, 4 approaches on the equipment with emphasis. Beginners can lift their legs bent at the knees. Pay attention to your position. Keep the emphasis on your elbows and don't fall through. The neck and back should be relaxed, and the lower back tightly pressed. Also watch your breathing. When twisting, exhale and do not leave your legs from inertia. Concentrate on the press. A hitch is pretty much a mandatory part of a workout as a warm-up. You can complete a workout on the treadmill for 15 to 20 minutes with a gradual decrease in speed to lower the pulse to the limits of the norm. For example, your first workout was on Monday. We rest after it for 1 to 2 days and move on to the second one. We also work with you on the whole body, but the exercises will be a little different so that your muscles don't get used to it and you won't be bored doing them. As in the last workout, we'll start the workout with a warm-up. Of course, you can run on the treadmill, but it is still necessary to warm up the joints and pull the muscles. Then we also go for hyperextensions and perform the same approaches and repeats as before. If you suddenly don't have the equipment in the gym, you can replace it with a fit ball. Just place your feet on the wall and pull the ball under the pelvic bones. The next exercise is squats on the GAC platform. The simulator will help to adjust your body to the correct technique in squats and will facilitate the work at first. For the first time, try to do an approach without using weight. Check the equipment. The back is smooth with a natural bend in the lower back. Looking ahead. The setting of the legs is slightly wider than the shoulders. The socks are to the sides and knees move in their direction. After making sure that it is done correctly, add a little weight with each approach. Don't forget that the last 5 repeats in your approach should be tough. After the GAC, we proceed to lunges with dumbbells. This time with a wide setting of the legs, which involves the buttocks even more. Concentrate on pushing off with your heel when lifting. This is how the buttocks will work more. For better balance, you can slightly turn the sock inside out and make lunges slightly to the sides. We move on to the top, our body, and the biceps. And one of the best exercises for beginners is pulling the lower block to the waist. Choose a weight in the block for 20 repeats and perform 4 sets with a smooth increase in weight. If you feel that you cannot perform the necessary repeats and your technique deteriorates, then it's too early for you to take this weight. In this exercise, pay attention to the back. When pulling the handle to the waist, the elbows are pulled back, the shoulder blades are brought together, and the chest is brought forward. This type of an exercise will involve pectoral muscles and triceps. As you can see, we don't leave any muscle without attention. We work for 25 to 20 reps with a moderate weight. The position of the body is very important. A slight deflection in the lower back. Exhale, squeeze the hands, and straighten the pectoral muscles with the triceps. When pulling the arms back, we reduce the shoulder blades and bring the chest forward. It makes no sense to pump the muscles of the press too often. After all, cubes are made in the kitchen. Therefore, I remind you that a competent training program is, of course, good. You'll strengthen your muscles and remove the fat layer. But there should still be a calorie deficit and high-quality nutrition. This will speed up your result and improve the quality of your body. I have a lot of videos on this channel regarding nutrition issues, so be sure to check the description under the video. It will be very useful. At the end of the workout, we also do not forget about the hitch on the cardio equipment. It can be either a track or an ellipse. Add some more muscle stretching exercises so the crepitature the next day will be much less, and the chance of injury will be very minimal. After resting for 1 or 2 days, we move on to the final training session of our week. The load for beginners is not too big, but still your muscles may ache. You may have a crepiture. You should not be afraid of this. Days of rest are enough for recovery. Therefore, we are currently heading to another training. Do not forget, from the beginner category with regular training, you can quickly move on to the average level of training. This will be in the next videos on my channel, so don't miss it. The third workout, as you might have guessed, also begins with a 5-minute warm-up and hyperextensions without weight. At the initial stage, it is not necessary to overload the lower back. Therefore, it will be enough to perform this exercise with the weight of your own body. The first exercise is a plie squat and the Smith simulator. This design will help to reduce the load on the back as much as possible and will help with the technique, which is ideal for beginners. The setting of the legs here is as wide as possible to include the inner surface of the thigh, the problem area of many girls in the work. The position of the body is clearly marked, and the legs are going forward. Socks to the sides, and when squatting, the knees are directed along the line of socks. Keeping our back straight, we slowly go down. We inhale and exhale when lifting, squeezing the buttocks. Don't rush to use the weight. Depending on the weight of the vulture, the exercise may be quite difficult for you. How to choose the weight in the exercise for beginners. First of all, it is important to learn the correct technique of performing the exercise and only then think about progress. The first approach in your exercise can be performed with minimal weight or even without it at all. For the specified number of repeats, the last 5 repeats should be given hard. Next, we will perform 2 isolated exercises. Flexion of the legs lying on the biceps of the thigh, 4 approaches. We go to the extension of the legs sitting next, also 4 approaches. These exercises will finally work out the bottom of your body after the upper part. It is important not to rush and squeeze the muscles. For leg bends, we bend them only under control and lower them for 3 counts without relaxing the biceps of the thigh, and we raise it again. The same principle works on extension. One of the best and basic exercises for the upper body is a pull-up, but because of the weak back and arms, it is very difficult and sometimes impossible for girls to perform it. That is why there is such a wonderful simulator as the Gravitron. The point is that the more weight you put in the block, the easier it is for you to pull up. So, I suggest starting with your own body weight. See how many repeats you can do. Our goal is about 15 to 10 reps. The main rule is to pull up the expense of the back muscles. Put your chest forward and bring your shoulder blades together. The arms, of course, work here, but they're not the target muscle in this current exercise. It remains to work out the chest. We go to the butterfly simulator, where this muscle is ideally involved. I recommend working within 15 to 10 reps for the chest. The fact is that the fat layer in this area burns very quickly. Who wants to lose fat in this zone? Our goal is tone. Therefore, choose the weight depending on the number of repeats. The technique here is very simple. We also quickly bring our hands together with an exhalation and pull the hands back a little more slowly. At the end of the workout, we will work out the press by twisting, a classic exercise for the press. Lying on the mat, press your lower back tightly to the floor and bend your legs. You hold the head with our hands, but do not pull it with a lift. With an exhalation, we'll lift the body up and slowly lowering it down. Someone's abdominal muscles are very weak, and it takes time for them to get stronger. Therefore, start working with 20 to 15 reps. Over time, increase the repeats to 30 to 25 reps. And after the press, we head to the hitch track and stretch our muscles. The total duration of your workout, starting with a warm-up and ending with a hinge, should not exceed 1 hour. If you do it longer, it means that you rest too long between these sets. If you remember, I said that the load on women's training should not be constant. It should be cyclical, and it all depends on your menstrual cycle. The first 2 weeks of your cycle, you have the most energy, and workouts can be quite intense. And the next 2 weeks should be easier. How exactly to simplify or complicate your workouts? During the 2 difficult weeks of your training, we perform 4 approaches to each exercise. While in the next 2 weeks, to simplify your training, we perform 3 approaches. You can follow this training plan for the next 2 months to prepare your body for an even more difficult level. Be sure to write down this plan with exercises in a notebook, as well as approaches, repeats, and leave a lot of space in front of the weight what we'll use in the exercises. At the next trial training sessions, you'll understand exactly what you'll be writing there, and you'll progress every week. Be sure to add this video to your favorite playlist so as not to lose this plan. Also, share this video on social social media with your friends who also don't know where to start their training plan. I will be very pleased if you like this video for my efforts. I really hope that I helped you and inspire you to go to the gym that is not so scary and incomprehensible anymore. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell reminder about the next video. After all, the next video will be about how to make a training plan for an average low level. You don't want to miss it, do you? Thank you so much for watching and your activity. See you in the next video. Bye!